around that. Very close to that, if not that.
There must be treasure.
What could be inside? Careful now.
I tested it a number of times, Rezu, and I got 5k each time. So somewhere in the very close vicinity to 5k. And vampires like 6.5k.
Here I go.
Vampire is not 9k, that is not true. We killed the vampire like 10 times. And each time it came out to somewhere between 6 and 7k. Unless the vampire got changed and its health total got buffed up. In one of those fixes.
An enemy is there.
Yeah, maybe. It might have been taking that from the original iteration of the vampire. But I can guarantee you that unless it got changed after I did it, which seems unlikely because I think it only got nerfed after I did it, if anything. It's got like 6.5k. Somewhere in the region of 6.5k. He must be really dirty and sad at this point. Poor Lana. Taking Lana to level 60 if you get the book. Or stop after getting your last skill on Knight. I don't think you need to take it to 60. If you want to take it to 60, if you want to future-proof yourself so that the next time you swap her back you have less leveling to do, then by all means go ahead. But for the foreseeable future, until we get another level cap increase, there is no real benefit in taking her all the way to 60. It's totally up to you. Personal preference.
Onward.
For reference, I didn't take my Lana all the way to 60.
Infiltrating.
But I know plenty of people who did. And yeah, totally up to you. Buchanan, for some reason, gets disgustingly dirty. They really wanted to like rub soot all over her or something.
A dangerous enemy. I will pretend you'll be the first that becomes alive.
Someone had some fun with that.
My conviction pierces all.
Hello, Moonlit. Second attempt, got the dragon with a full party of level 30s. Two of your front rows have rings and dragon swords. Everyone's about to bleed out. Oh, Moonlit. You should be able to get it, I feel like, Moonlit. Maybe you had a bit of bad RNG.
What do you think is in it?
She always has to go wash up. Poor girl.
Careful now. Good job.
Plastic! You dirty boy.
Time to rest.
Yeah, Buchanan. I've only seen Buchanan dirty once, which was when I played on Any Bits account, very briefly, and I was just in shock at how much dirt she had all over her, particularly in particular places.
Careless. You'll be the first to become.
Like someone had a lot of fun smearing her in mud.
Heads here.
An enemy is there.
Must be treasure.
What do you think is inside?
She gets way dirtier than that, damn.
Careful now.
Yeah, someone had way too much fun with Buchanan's character model, I feel like.
Onward.
Possibly, Brendan. I think personally, my personal crackpot theory on it is that they didn't want to put all of the premium characters together. They wanted like main character, side character, so that they could store them for another banner later on. Probably not soon, but later on at some point. Like garbage, releasing garbage with the anime has got to be a bit of a slam dunk for them.
What is inside?
Careful now. Good job.
She'll sell like hotcakes because you'll be buying all of the hotcakes. Literally all of the hotcakes. That is not the right switch. Oh, that's true, Dark Chaos. Yeah.
Let us be off.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. Because garbage just barks, right? That might not be something that's actually that easy to source.
Onward.
Just voice cast a dog. So you have garbage walk onto the screen with a greatsword and it's just like ruff, 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 ruff.
Flames.
You think that'll be okay?
Let us end this. My conviction pierces all.
Ends here.
It's all that dialogue anyway. Aniki and Burke were on the same banner. I would have wailed so hard my future grandkids would have felt it.
What that I would be taken by surprise.
What happened in Nikkei? I know nothing about Nikkei at all. Please explain.
Ends here.
You cruel. You cruel. We are strong. Dangerous. That is all very good. Consider becoming a disciple of Agora.
This can't be right. It's gotta be this way.
Infiltrating. A tricky one. Opportunity.
Your destiny ends here.
This stream has been nowhere near as bad as the 17-hour one. The 17-hour one, that burnt me at both ends, you know. This one has been alright. I think 2 hours, 2 more hours is pretty doable.
This is the face of one who would defy God. What could be inside?
Fucking Nikkei.
マリアを調査したいなら調査したいって言えばいいでしょ。くだらないことばかり言ってないで。
What is this?
くだらない。私が言ったんじゃありませんよ。
I don't know, I really don't know what I'm watching. Oh, there's like a barking character in Nikkei.
ワンワンワン。ワンワンワンワン。いきなり何をしてるんですか。中央政府の犬と喋ってますけど、何。
I don't know if I need 3 dubs of this, but we can try.
조사해 보고 싶다고 말을 해. 어디 말도 안 되는 소리 짓거리고 있어? 짓거린다고요? 제가
Try and stomach my way through this.
뭐 하는 짓인가요, 갑자기? Oh, just can it already. You just want Marion for yourself.
Absolutely not. I'm here on orders from my superiors.
So stupid. Oh boy. Nikke's ridiculous.
Careful now.
Gemma likes to say, little I resign myself to not being able to collect the rare adventurer. Yeah, that's probably wise in this game.
Good job.
She's calling her government a dog. Yeah, I get it, I get it.
Time to rest.
Is that what that character's called? Anis? Gotcha.
Be on your guard.
My Nikke knowledge is non-existent.
Onward.
An enemy is there.
Something's here.
What do you think is inside?
Careful now.
Oh, that was not me.
Good job.
Cushy game. Oh, I meant to look at the junk piles. Let's go out and have a look at the junk piles a second. I completely forgot.
We survived.
It's as gloomy as always.
Fortress. Den of fire, den of light. Milky white light weapon junk? Nah, bow and dagger. Medium weapon junk. War mace sword, light axe. And then heavy weapon junk. I'm guessing is not going to be kunais. Yeah, there are no like light kunais to answer the earlier question, which was so long ago now I just completely forgot.
Adventuring is so fun.
Shall we go out again today?
Garbage Spark would be more guttural. Yeah, she's meant to be like an actual wild dog, right, Garbage? From what I understand. Like, she literally can't speak. They call her Garbage because they found her in a fucking pile of trash.
Is it not treasure? What could be inside?
So it probably needs to be more primal, I guess.
An enemy is there.
I can imagine that being quite hard. I guess they'll have to get someone to do it for the anime, won't they?
Play with me.
You'll be the first to become a corpse.
My conviction pierces all.
Your destiny.
Like, they'll have to find someone to do it for the anime, right?
You were quite marvelous. What do you think is inside?
Makima. I mean, they have had some pretty high-profile
Infiltrate.
high-profile voice actors for this game in Japanese. So I guess that wouldn't be out of the question. They would have to find equivalent voice actors for other languages though, wouldn't they?
There's treasure somewhere
Do as you
close.
will with what's inside.
Careful now. Good job.
I guess. Wait. I suppose if Chainsaw Man's been translated, I imagine there's a Chainsaw Man dub, right? So I guess they could get the English Makima to do it as well. There's probably a Chinese Makima as well.
Here I go.
Infiltrating.
Hey, we've got some weaklings to kill.
Let us end this quickly.
What are you guys up to?
An unfavorable type.
Let us end this quickly.
Other characters who bark in other anime, yeah. It's mostly like cute barking that you hear in anime.
Onward.
Onward.
I'll crush them at once. Take this!
Not too many deaths today. Gerard's managed to stay off of the ground. Very impressive. Makes a change.
What could be inside?
Rene had an unfortunate one where she got flipped and then got messed up. Can't really hold that against her. That's not her fault. I'll hold anything against Gerard though. I love holding things against Gerard.
Be on your guard.
I'm going.
Something's there.
Do as you will.
The Den of Light grind has really grown on me. Like, it's actually a very chilled grind.
How do we maneuver? Tell me your approach.
Lana gets 2.5k more experience from the second wave of Lingering Scent than the rest of the level 40 party. That's not much. It'll add up, so keep you on the grind. Yeah, yeah. I mean, whatever works.
Let's look inside.
Careful now. Good job. Onward.
It's a long old grind.
Let us end this quickly.
I remember when I was leveling those bond mates up, the grind felt rough. I still kind of want to level another. I want to level like at least an action, like a speed. Actually, there isn't really much point in leveling a speed one. I already know exactly what speed's gonna do. I kind of want to level a dex one to see what the coefficients are like on like disarm, trap, and those kind of stats. I don't know who I could do it with. There aren't that many dex characters. Maybe I could eat my Kiraha. I might need my Kiraha one day. I'm not sure.
How do we maneuver? Tell me your approach.
Rather bored. I'll make you feel really good.
Oh.
No, indeed.
Let's just kill these, okay?
To me, have at you.
Let's not mess around with that.
Out of my way. I'll do it.
Oh, Gerard! Oh. She's taking that like a beast. Alice just took that on the chin. Like it was nothing.
An enemy is there.
I think her Sanctuary Secret
we've
tone
got some
procs.
weaklings to kill.
Let us end this quickly. We are following.
Let us be off.
You want to keep going with Abyss 2 instead of farming Lana through, though, since almost my whole party's at 5 pages of lore. I'd like to see those flaming hearts on their stats. That's fair, yeah. Why not? Just crack on through. Treat yourself. There's no rush, is there? You got weeks to do that stuff.
An enemy is there.
Something's here. Treasure, perhaps?
Oh, there's a treasure chest right there. Wouldn't be safe to bring in a level 1 Lana into Abyss 2. Probably not, no. Yeah, that request is really, really good for XP. That'll get you there in no time. As long as you don't overstep and accidentally advance the conversation too far. There's like no downtime to it either. You're just in and out of battles over and over.
An enemy.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad, Brendan. It's probably similar-ish.
You'll be the first to become a corpse.
Lingering Scent is the quest that you get from Dylanhart after you get a true ending of the Abyss. First Abyss. It's where you fight the 2 waves and then you fight the Arch Demon.
My conviction pierces all.
Yeah, that one. That bad boy.
Much experience. Careful now. Good job.
We survived.
Be on your guard.
I wonder if we'll get any kunais out of this massive amount of Den of Light junk. I wonder if we'll get a single one. Probably not. I wouldn't be
Enemies
surprised.
such as this cannot stand before
Let
us.
us end this quickly.
The drop rate on it is so low.
I suppose that's passable.
The route that Plastic and Narkai showed on floor 10 of the Abyss, I think it's got to be the best way to get kunais.
Careful now.
Because I've done his character quests, Rezu.
Good job.
No, it's nothing to do with his discipline. It's because I've done his character quest.
Onward.
It's much cooler than if it was a discipline effect. It's entirely flavour. It's awesome. I really, really like the character quests in this game. Yep, it's exactly the same with Deborah and
Must be
Adam.
treasure.
Do as you will with what's inside.
It's just an aesthetic thing. There's no real mechanical gain or anything from the quest.
Careful now.
Not really, at least.
Good job.
It's just a very cool, like, thematic quest that is entirely in the game, just to further a character's story. Which is awesome.
Careless. Your lives will be my pleasure. Sacrifice now.
Cursed!
See God.
This is the worst day of my life.
Be upon you.
I always forget how hard this hits. Like chunks for like half your life return.
Cast adventuring could be quite so entertaining. Let us be off. An enemy is there.
Nope, not that way. Not that way either. Yeah, it's here.
How do we maneuver? Tell me your approach.
Let us end this quickly.
Deborah seems to be the one that people most commonly get the character quest of. Because a lot of people obviously use Deborah as their thief. And kind of get her full bonded by the time they get to Oxanaris and just end up doing it. But it's quite rare that I hear someone doing Adam's quest or Garof's quest. It doesn't really crop up that much. Especially now with like Bakana and the Ari Mass. Those guys don't really get a look in anymore. But they've all got pretty cool quests. I haven't done Adam's, but I've done the other two. Narcos told me a lot about Adams, and it sounded pretty awesome, to be honest.
There's an enemy.
The blood stirs. You'll be the first to become corpse.
My invention pierces all.
Easy cheesy. Ah, someone cracked the cheat. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna put this on stream. This is like an actual real factual exploit. So I'm not gonna put that on stream. We've had that linked a few times to Sasha Banan. I don't mind if people go and do that, but I'm not going to incentivize people to do it.
Here we go. I know this place.
Do as you will with what's inside.
Careful now.
Yeah, feel free to chat about it. I'm just not going to involve myself in it too much.
There's an enemy there.
Hey, we've got some weaklings to kill.
Will that brick your gift count when the devs get on? My what? Sorry? Brick my QF fount? Brendan? What is this word?
Quite so
My
entertaining.
QF fount. Oh, my account. I wouldn't like to say, and that, I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't want to talk about it, because like I would feel fucking terrible if someone did that and was encouraged to do that by something that I said, and then got their account, I don't know, banned or something.
My lord, play with me.
That's fine, don't worry at all. But also, I think it's against TOS. Probably not. But I think it's also against TOS. So like, I'd say it's likely that they don't have that kind of resources. But I don't condone or suggest that you try it.
An enemy.
Onward.
An enemy is there.
It's there.
Let us be off.
The blood stirs.
Show my kunais. Of course, Sasha Banan. Yeah, no problem at all.
The types do not
Your
match.
destiny ends.
They're just +10 phantoms. So they're about 5 attack power less than a +5 covert. I think they're 50 and a +5 covert is +55, I believe.
Yep.
Great not killing Rene after flipping it. Fantastic choice.
Do as you will with what's inside.
Careful now. Good job.
I am soiled. Were I to hide in a pile of filth now, I would not be found.
Is that all you wanted to see, Sasha Banan?
Easy as that.
The best way of farming kunais definitely seems to be after getting good ending. Yeah, no range penalty. That's it. No range penalty. So if you want to use her in the back line, you kind of need to use kunais. You could maybe get away with using daggers back there. Sometimes at least.
I'll pound him with my
Your equipment
flames.
is so cool.
You'll be the
Your
first to become
venom pierces all.
Your destiny ends here.
an enemy.
Where'd you crawl out from?
Let us end this quickly.
It also kind of makes her moment of finality better because having no range penalty on that means she has no range penalty on moment of finality either.
Inside.
Main issue with using Rene in the back line, even if you're just using her as a debuffer or whatever with daggers, like she also can't really use moment because moment has a range penalty on it too. Why am I even over here? What am I doing here? I'm in the wrong portion of the map.
They'll not escape.
Let us end this quickly.
In the light junk, they aren't in the light junk. They're in the other junk that drops from here, the 5 blossoms.
Hellfire!
So you can't get light kunais. You can just get covert kunais in the Blossoms junk, and it's very, very low odds.
Careful now.
We can compare in a second, Sasha Banan. Want to get out of here? The best farm for kunais is definitely 10th floor. After you've got the good ending, teleport to the Harken, walk out, kill the 3 enemies like just down the way, grab a chest if there is one, and then Harken back. Takes like 2 minutes or so, 2 minutes to run. Weird bug. My Alison, Lana, Deborah have max 90 fortitude. Yeah, it's not a bug, Snorlax. It's not a bug. Some characters, not all characters have 100 fortitude base. Some characters have 90. Some characters even have 80. To also kill sentries in there, I mean you can if you're strong enough to do so. Personally, I would rather not touch the sentries with a 50-foot fucking pole.
Please leave this
Your
to me.
equipment is so
You
cool.
need not sully your hands with such
Let us
drudgery.
It's all good, Snorlax. You don't know until you know. If you ever have a question like that, never feel ashamed to come and ask me about it. Like, I won't judge you for it.
Your command
I've
never ceases.
thought stupider things in this game by a long way. I've asked stupider questions in this game.
Careful.
I still do now. I do every day. Once I get out of here, we'll compare the junk piles, okay? I've got some Shinobi junk piles. And I've got some Blossoms ones too.
Infiltrating.
It only has to be good ending. It doesn't even need to be true ending. It just needs to be good ending. Because you need to unlock the Harken on the 10th floor. So if you can't die after the story, basically. You just have to live after the story. So I think that's like the 3rd playthrough for most people. I'm not 100% sure. I think 3. I think 3, but it may be different for different people depending on what you do in the story. I'm not 100% on that. I think for me it took 3 to get the good
I
ending.
sense strength in them.
You'll be the first to become a corpse.
The Titan survives. Infection pierces all. My conviction pierces all. Happy to keep you so done. Would you consider becoming a disciple
Look
of Agora?
inside.
Dolan Horse Dude scale with corruption. Nah, only Warped one does. Only the Gatekeeper does.
Good job.
Nothing else scales with corruption.
A job well done. It's as gloomy as always.
Right, so we have Fortress, Malevolent, Fortress Shinobi Junk. These have a 17% to drop a kunai. Yeah, I have so much junk. It's going to be a mess of a day when I unearth all this shit. 17% almost to get a kunai out of these bad boys. Den of Light. It isn't the Den of Light trash. It is the Where are you? I actually don't know where it is on the list. Oh, we'll spin you in a minute. Forgot about you. Forgot about you. Five Blossom Junk. So you got yeah, Five Blossom Junk. It's in here. The list is slightly bigger. 1.852 in these things. In these Five Blossom Junks. Not great. It's like almost a tenth of the chance to pull one out of these. So yeah, the chance of getting a kunai from Den of Light is... Able to get dupes of bond mates? Yes. Kinda. You can rank up bond mates, if that's what you mean, Vel. You can't get extra versions of those bond mates, so you know you can only have one level 5 bond mate of a type. Adventurer bond mates, you can have as many of an adventurer bond mate as you want to of the same type. Right, let's ram this guy. Easy, easy, Marianne, 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 Marianne. Come on, Marianne. Marianne, Marianne. Ah, beast there. You got Deep Adam. Congrats, Anybit. It can't be 4-star from Den of Light. Nah, it can only be 3-star from both. We can check the odds on that as well if you want. Hold on. So, Fortress Shinobi Junk. 5% to be 3-star, 5% to be blue. Den of Light. No, not Den of Light. Where are you, Five Blossom? Five Blossom. 5% to be 3-star, 5% to be blue. Exactly the same rarity on both those junk piles. You bought the full alteration stone pack. Oh, any bit. Well, I hope you have fun with the resources. Any bit. Curious because you've been running Undead March and have Albano and the Knight from Undead March level 5 max. Yeah, you can't get more copies of him. If you want to, Vel, if you're running that like a lot, and you're planning on running it a lot more, you can dismiss Albano and get a Amnesia incense from him. And then every time you do March, you can keep... Sorry, not Albano. What's he called? The guy from Jack. Sir Jack. You can dismiss him and keep getting Amnesia incenses if you're repeating that over and over and over and over again. And those will let you detach your bond mates for free. So that might be worth doing if you're doing Undead March like a lot. You'll have to re-level him to 5 back again at the end though. The full alteration stone re-rolls an item's stats from the pool of stats that it can roll from, then buffs all of those stats. So full alteration stones are a very big deal, but they can roll really badly. Like they can just make a really bad item too. You only really want to use them on like a purple or a red item really, because you want to do it before you upgrade the item. The best thing to do that with is the ring that just came out in the current event, because it always rolls the same stats and they're pretty darn good stats. So by using the full alteration on it, it's just like giving it another increase. Very powerful. I don't have an alteration stone. I've never got one. They're very, very rare. Gradient died for the first time during Lingering Scent, but the Harken gives you a free revive. Nope. If you've unlocked the Major Harken in the area that you're farming, or that you're doing anything in, and you die, you'll always get revived by the Harken. It's to do with owning the Major Harken in the area. It's Harken's blessing. Harsh Knight, who am I saving gems for? I'm not really saving gems for anyone, Harsh Knight. Eventually I'd like to replace Gerard, but I'm pretty locked in with this team. Anything that I pull for now is probably just going to be inheriting to these guys. Again, I'd really like to replace Gerard. Gerard is a very, very boring character. I just don't really like him much. He's perfectly functional though, so I'm not in a hurry to like replace him. So just taking it as it comes. How about you? Is there someone you're excited for? Do you like the look of the thief guy?
Well, where do we go next?
Anyone for that matter. Is anyone looking for a specific niche in their team to fill? Anyone excited for anything in particular?
Onward.
Crazy out there
What do you
collabs,
think is in it?
weird like ancient wizardry classes that they'd like to see.
Careful now.
Reno have a rerun. I'm pretty sure she will, Divix. Obviously have nothing to base that on really, other than that we've seen a few reruns now. But I'm pretty sure she will. Lingering Scent's such a nice farm run. Yeah, even if you mess something up, you can get a free res on Lingering Scent.
Onward.
An old Alice that buffs good instead of evil. Maybe we'll see it. Good aligned fairy priest. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to see a fairy character come out. It's got to be. We know that they've got the models for them because they showed them off in the trailers. So it's only a matter of time until we get a fairy, I'm sure. Really want a ninja, but I guess I'm low level. Yeah, ninjas are more late game stuff, but you could play with one, Snorlax. Just be slow going with them.
Infiltrating.
I think, guys, that did get patched. I believe that got patched. The thing of which we shall not speak. I believe that was what the second mini patch that we had addressed.
Let us end this quickly.
Saving for the future. Garbage. Need 1810 gems to make the pity, to reach 60 in Iaru and Burk Banner. You'll get there. I believe, Harsh Knight, I believe.
I have your back.
Oh, it worked. Oh, nice.
Let us end this quickly.
They changed anything about the event? They nerfed the vampire a couple of times, I think.
A sound victory. Shows that expected adventuring could be quite so entertaining. Careful now. Good job.
Chaldia and Macaldia, yeah, they do stack. What are those squares on my map? Squares? These? Just the grid? Ah, this is Den of Light. So in Den of Light, you have to hit, switches in order to open up doorways to be able to get to your final destination. It's, at first, it's very shitty, but now that I know how to run this place, because I've run it probably hundreds of times, it's not actually that bad anymore. It's actually quite simple.
This bores me.
It looks like there are loads and loads of switches that you have to hit, but you actually only have to hit one green and one yellow on every run to be able to get through. Just have to know where to look for them.
Do as you will with what's inside.
Careful now. Good job.
Wait, where am I? Not in the right place, that's for sure. I'm just saying that I know how to do this.
How do we maneuver? Tell me your approach.
So cool.
I'll just let them. I'll just do the question as I finish them. For the Earth dungeon, is it better to rush the final room at the cost of walking through the spike trap, kill the enemies and look for the chests, and kill enemies and leave through the entrance? The way that I have always farmed that is I've always rushed to the boss to get the spike trap, to just take the spike trap. I think that's way, way faster.
Too cruel.
A sound victory. Just as expected.
Let's look inside.
Yep, that's a great link. Great link, Resi. Thank you.
Careful now.
Um,
Good job.
Is Savia a scam because I got her and realised later tanks without the ability to become a fighter, or could she get a class change in the future? It's very likely she will get a class change in the future, and I would fully expect it to be fighter. She is reasonably good without it, though. You just have to use her in a very specific way. She's like a back row tank that taunts things into attacking her, where they have range penalty because they're attacking the back row, and then she dodges and counter attacks them. She's pretty good at that, and that is actually really useful in some cases, but she's a little bit harder to use than most heroes are. You kind of have to build around her. She looks and sounds very cool, which definitely works in her favour. Definitely not a scam. Yep, absolutely, Senna. She is cool as shit. Nope. Chaldia is just a shit version of Macaldia. I don't know why it exists, to be honest, but you can stack it with Macaldia, so you could theoretically put both buffs up on yourself. I don't think there's much reason to use Chaldia, though. It's a really oddly placed spell, because it even costs more MP than Macaldia. It's possible that it has a more pronounced effect. Yeah, there is. There's buff limit of 3. So, yeah, it's really, really hard to use it, even with Macaldia. Maybe it has a more pronounced effect than Macaldia, but that's absolutely impossible to test. Like, completely impossible to test without sitting down for days and running tests and, like, finding averages, which is unreasonable to expect from anyone. So I just treat it as a bad spell, to be honest, that you're never going to use.
Infiltrating.
Macaldia needs a miracle. It needs an intervention. Yeah.
What?
There are scrolls for that, Dragoyoshi, which are very, very good to use.
Let us in. clear.
Mahaitos, I think it's called. Mahaitos scrolls. But ironically, the Knight Kit is one of the most important things for challenging one of the most important things in the one of the most difficult things in the game. Because without Knight's Defense, you can't deal with the Graham packs.
Let us end this quickly.
I wish they would make it a little bit more palatable though, the Knight Kit.
Guest adventuring could be quite so entertaining.
Brendan, I'm sure I've answered this question of yours before. We have absolutely no idea on anything that is in combat. Like just absolutely no idea whatsoever, because stats don't display in combat, so it's impossible to tell unless you have like damage numbers or something to work out. You would need to do endless hours of testing to be able to try to figure out how much surety one of those buffs is giving. You'd have to do like side-by-side tests and take numbers over a very large sample size. You can always assume that the answer to anything in combat is always no, we have no idea. Unless there are damage numbers involved, in which case we might. Maybe.
Let us be off.
It's the same with things like Macaldia. Like, we have no idea really how much defense Macaldia gives. Even that, and that's probably easier to test, but it's still very difficult to test. Yep, because enemy has surety reduction as well, which we also are not aware of. It definitely works because there's a noticeable difference in both accuracy and surety when you have Macaldia up. But as to the actual numbers involved, I wouldn't dare to guess. Yeah, Macalty, sorry. It's kind of just so hard to know. We know how much. Someone who has Buchanan will know that for sure. I don't know if the numbers are published anywhere, but you can see, like DPS is a very bad term in this game because obviously, like, there is no DPS. DPS is not a thing, as we don't measure by seconds. We measure by combat rounds.
I look forward
But
to
like,
our return to town.
you will be able to immediately be able to tell how much damage has gone up. She gains, I think, probably 4 or 5 attack power per discipline, and that immediately translates to probably 120% of that or 110% on that, depending on her class's coefficient. So it's probably somewhere like 4 or 5 damage per discipline. DPR sounds like a dictatorship. Yeah, she has Way of the Warrior as well, so that gets multiplied. That damage increase gets multiplied again by Way of the Warrior. The real joy of Buchanan's discipline is that it gives her a bunch of bulk. It not only increases her attack, but it actually also gives her a whole bunch of bulk, loads of HP, defensive stats. It's super, super good. So is Iarimas's. Their disciplines are both just really, really bloated. Very, very powerful. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different sort of bulk to the type that you are thinking of.
Please
Yep, disciplining those characters is very powerful. They have 2 of the best disciplines, if not the best disciplines of all time that we've ever seen. They just buff so many stats.
Infiltrating.
Full mage Burka. Sway. No. To each their own. To each their own. Sway. She has a discipline which doesn't even give her magic power. Yeah. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. As long as you're having fun, so that's all that matters. They have kept the power creep very reasonable thus far. What am I looking at here? Yeah, it's only level 40 buck. She's got quite a lot of HP already. That's on the right switch.
Infiltrating.
I'm going.
Oh, yep, we don't have a connection to it.
An enemy is there.
They'll not escape.
Shall we have a good time? Oh no! Help me!
What do you think is inside?
Three mid-grade ores is my prize for a Den of Light clear. Phew. Crikey. Inflation's been hitting everyone hard.
Be on your guard.
Even the Den of Light Minotaur.
Is it not treasure?
Oh, treasure chest.
Let's look inside.
Hello there, Mr. Treasure Chest. Good to see you.
Careful now. Good job.
I must have so much fine ore. I remember when I was buying this like fine ore from the guild shop, just like, man, gotta get that fine ore cooldown every 3 days or something. Yeah, sure.
Let us be off.
That's cool, Drago issue. I don't think so, Brendan. If you're talking about the staff.
I'm going.
I sense enemies.
Spooky monsters.
Carelessness.
Look like you're
Oh, Jesus.
has been misalarmed.
Chill your beans, son.
Agora, I am covered.
There's no need for that behaviour.
Blessing of Agora.
There's filth enough to scare away the.
This filth brings to mind unpleasant.
Oh, we're almost there on Wanderer.
Brings to mind unpleasant
I need another
memories.
600k. That's not too bad.
Treasure. Do as you will with what's inside.
Careful now. Good job.
Hey, we
Can't do the hardest difficulty.
Play with me.
Yep, even the regular mobs are very annoying in the highest difficulty. The vampire is honestly easier than the mobs are.
You're cruel.
Let us end this quickly.
Sorry. It's my cat. What you up to? She's stalking something.
It's there.
Yeah, this is a cat jam.
Opportunity.
This is absolutely a cat jam, Dark Healer.
Must you look so
Let us end
good.
this quickly.
You dare!
Yes, well, I'm absolutely aware of it. It's also very, very, very clearly an exploit. So I don't really want to talk about it too much on the stream.
What could be inside? Careful now. Good job.
I know of a couple of people who have done it, Divix. They did it with axes. Axes on their melees and or the new inherit from the thief guy to penetrate the defense of the Minotaur when it defends.
A job well done.
If you can get to 54, it's considerably easier because you just hit it with full power strikes from your fighters and just blow it up without too much trouble. Yep, I know people are tag gated at the moment. I understand that.
Shall we go out again today?
I know loads and loads of people at the moment are tag gated. This event sucks. Yep, understandable, understandable. It's definitely doable at 50.
Let us end this quickly.
On your head.
There are also other methods available, which I do not condone.
Be upon your head.
You all enjoy the sight of blood as much as I?
That's fair.
Where'd
You can get
crawl
it.
from?
I have faith in you that you can get it, Divix. I know other people have in similar kind of states to your account, as far as I understand.
Let us end this quickly.
Are the characters also buffed in the event? The Chloe's doing so much, really? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they're particularly buffed in any way.
Let's look inside.
Careful.
About to get your second dragon ring. Don't know if you have the willpower to farm the third. Don't burn yourself out on it, Dark Healer. But good job on farming what you have. Takes a long time. That's not the right way. I think it's down here. No, it's definitely not. Oh, it must be up here.
Onward.
Must be the south map.
An enemy.
Armor break. It helps a little bit, but not a huge amount. Think you want things that pierce armor, really. Effects that pierce armor. So armor pierce, axes, and astral break, which is the new character's ability for people who are just getting up in there, or you need something that deals just so much damage that it just goes through the armor. So like a very high level heavy strike, or full power strike is a, I mean, it's the key to every lock. Hello Retroverse, how are you? I'm great, thank you. Actually, funny, one of the biggest Wizardry limitations is your phone running out of battery. Yeah, God bless the PC client. Time to inherit Armor Pierce on the MC. I did test the Armor Pierce, and Armor Pierce performed pretty well on the Minotaur when it was like hunkered down, when it's defending. Because I tried loads of things for, like, to try to help newer players. Since newer players were having a real tough time and getting super stressed about it. And Armor Pierce was one of the things that did actually work. Axes work.
It appears to be a
New character's worth the pull.
Worry not.
I think he's overhyped, Retroverse, to be honest with you. But I do think that his Inherit is probably very powerful. I need to see more numbers on it, though. I have quite a few qualms with his kit. It seems like very anti-synergetic. Because he's really feeble. Because he's an elf. He's an elf thief. He has a discipline that is almost entirely useless. And he looks like he wants to go on the front lines to buff your defensive line, but yet doesn't really want to go on the front lines because he's a squishy ass elf thief. So there's like a lot of dissonance there in his kit, which I don't really appreciate. I do think the attack looks like it has quite a lot of potential though. Use his skill on Burka and it slaps. Yeah, I think even inheriting his skill looks pretty good. Hi Agraxis, how are you? I will riddle you anything, Dorcamus. You just tell me what. Fighter class change? I very much doubt it from the way that he looks. I'd expect like a mage class change or something weird. Yes, right now he's bugged in that each time you apply his speed buff, it stacks. So like not only can it really mess up your speed order, but it also pushes off all of your other buffs on both him and the character that's behind or in front of him. Oh, I'm glad, Agraxis. Which side is this guy on the enemies? What's that, sorry, Dark Healer?
Let us end this quickly.
Oh, the character, the thief. Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, his buffs right now stack up in a way that they probably shouldn't. They're probably not intended to. And yeah, you can grief your own party with him by accident, as Dark Healer says. Yaramas Arboris backline is pretty solid. Yeah, I believe it. I think he's a perfectly fine character. I'm saying he's overhyped. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he's overhyped. I feel like people are making him out to be way better than he actually is, but he's actually just another kind of like good adventurer that you can use. It's nice to have an alternate as a thief. I'm not gonna put a tier on him. I think tier lists are bullshit. Tier lists are dumb as hell.
Whatever.
I think, especially in a game like this, where there are so many different circumstances and environments and atmospheres where a character can excel and then be useless in others. I think it's too It's not good enough just putting a letter on someone. I still think that there hasn't really been an incredible power creep character. I think the closest so far has been Rene, and still continues to be Rene.
Onward.
Every tier list I've seen is absolute
Do as you
garbage.
will
Yeah,
with
it's
us
terrible.
inside.
I got linked some character reviews earlier from Reddit and almost lost my fucking mind reading that shit. I don't want to be on a tier list. That's very kind of you, Dorcamus, but I'd rather not be on a tier list. Thank you. The only tiers are the ones that I shed over emotional scenes in basically every form of media.
I'm going.
Before I be stupid, I also get the Garolf Fighter book. Does it cost a book per change? I have a Priest Garolf book, and the store has Fighter Garolf. Oh damn! You got a Fighter Garolf book out of the... Oh, this is out of the exchange. You need one book per change. Books are temporary change, or they're permanent changes, and you cannot change back once you've changed, even if you've changed from that class before. So yeah, you need a book to go to Priest, and then you need a book to go back to Fighter.
Is it not treasure?
Thanks, Dorcamus, but
Let's look inside.
SS is the worst tier to be in because the the letters SS have other connotations, so I'd rather be
Careful.
very little to do with that as possible. Thank you.
Good job.
An enemy.
Yep, I fucking hate it, Retro. I've been talking about it all day long. People have been pissed coming through here. They've been getting frustrated, and I don't blame them. It's a shitty ass event. It's the worst one they've run by a million miles, and I will say no word in defense of it.
Tis the power of darkness.
JJ's here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, take another dragon over this. It's a shitty ass event. It's really badly thought out. It's horribly timed. They just pushed 2 characters that they sold to everyone in the entire game, and now they can't use them for the event. Like Bakan and the Arimas, you can't use either of them. Not only that, but like the Thief that they brought out, you can't use that in the event either. Like, it seems so stupid, like, where they've dropped this. Not to mention, they've just brought in the biggest influx of players the game has ever had. And for some reason, they're like, here's this newbie unfriendly event. Enjoy. Brain dead. Like, actually brain dead. Why do I let Dreecom do this to the new players? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll get on the phone. Get on the phone to Dreecom and be like, Dreecom, what are you doing, mate? You bunch of dickheads. It's scummy and unbalanced. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I really kind of hate it. Yeah, exactly. The Steam release was a month ago. And they're throwing out events which are aimed at pretty much solely level 60 players. It's just dumb. It's just stupid. Hire someone else to do the events, yeah. They just... I feel like they just didn't really think about it. They just didn't really think about the fact that this event was just not really going to work in the place that it was placed. And I've been doing my best. We've been working together trying to figure out ways that lower level players can do those events. Like, we've been trying all sorts of tricks to try and get them through it. But it sucks that we even have to do that, you know? And there'll be a lot of people that, even with those tricks, they still won't be able to clear it. And they'll be missing out on not just some random pieces of equipment or something, like random pieces of loot. Like, they're some of the most exclusive things that the game has to offer. Which just makes it even more sad. It's just such a terribly thought out event. The worst event they've ever run by about a million miles. Completely reform this unfortunate event. Yeah, I hope. I know they've had bad feedback from China and Japan already on it, so I think it's probably very likely that if we ever see this type of event again, it's probably going to be quite a bit different to the way that they've launched this one. I think they do seem quite receptive to feedback. We've seen that repeatedly in the past, so not to our feedback, but certainly to Japanese feedback. So the event rant. I'm sorry. I must sound like it's such a broken record. But yeah, it really sets me off. It's just super annoying. And I actually take brunt on it as well, because people come through here and they actually get kind of pissed at the event. And so I have to take the brunt of it sometimes. No, it just doesn't feel that good. Like, it feels extra bad. It's just shitty. I don't blame people for being pissed by it. Like, it's a bit of a betrayal. Of course Retroverse has finished the event. Who do you think you're talking to, Dorkamus? Guy claps it in 5 seconds, no doubt.
Your worst.
Let us end this quickly.
On your head. Be upon your head.
No, I don't. I don't take responsibility for it, but I do still feel bad. Because I wanna say things that help these people, but it's not possible, you know.
Infiltrating.
I appreciate you saying that on the same plastic. We talked about that earlier, Dorkamus. If it was a permanent event, that would solve literally all of the problems. Like, if it just didn't have a timer on it. If it didn't have a timer on it, which it does, then it wouldn't be a problem at all. I don't think anyone would have any issue with this event. Because you could just take your time and clear it, and you could always get the rewards. But it is.
Your command never ceases to amaze me.
Hello! You upset about the event as well, Chili? It's outrageous, isn't it? Chili didn't have 3 fighters built. She's real mad. It's alright. Come on. We'll get you some good axes, and then you can go and kill it anyway.
Infiltrating.
I am also worried by that prospect, Retro. I do think they have listened to feedback quite well in the past, and I would hope that they continue to do so, but it still worries me that they make such awful decisions sometimes. They shouldn't need a do-over. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much, Captain Cabinets. I really, really appreciate that. That's incredibly kind of you. Hope you had a wonderful stream. We were just talking about how shit the new event is. So unfortunately, you caught me at a moment of abject negativity. But I absolutely hope everyone here has had a fantastic night and is enjoying Wizardry. I guess I'm anti-Wiz shilling right now. Or anti-Drecom shilling at least. Yeah, I hope you had a fantastic stream, Captain Cabinets. I see you've been putting in the hours the last few days. The fighter event sucks. I won't launch into it again. I've already had my tirade multiple times tonight, but the fighter event sucks. And I can clear it super easily. It's fine for me. It's like perfectly designed for me. But it really sucks.
Let us end this quickly.
Now we run the event. They might do, yeah. I think it's very likely they're just going to run a bunch of these events if they don't get enough feedback telling them not to. or to at least change them in some way, right? And it sounds like they are probably getting enough feedback to not run this again, or not run this in the same way again, at least. So we can only hope. All we can really do is hope. The problem is that only 5%, exactly, the problem is that only 5% of players can clear the event, and they just had an influx of a huge amount of players that they are apparently completely blindsided by. It's dumb. It's just really dumb. Dumb marketing. Dumb decisions. Which is a shame, because most of their decisions have been very good, and most of their... I mean, their last event was perfectly suited for the time that they dropped it. They dropped a very newbie-friendly event right as they knew they were going to get a bunch of new players. It was smart, really smart. And then they do this. It's just kind of dumb. Doesn't mean I don't love the game. I think the game is absolutely fantastic. And I don't have any plans to suddenly stop playing it over this, by any means. But I think there are some people who this will really put off of the game. Some people who have just joined the game who really like it, and are now suddenly going to be like, oh, I just can't do anything in this event. Look at all this awesome shit in this event, and I can't get any of it. Just super sucks. It's giving such a bad message. I've been trying all day to help people through this event with varying success. Yeah, like most of the people who come through here are people who have not been playing for very long. Before Genizad like got infinite people interested in this game, and you know, through Tectone being a conduit, like nobody came and ever came to the stream. Like nobody ever came and watched when I was playing Wizardry or anything like that. It's basically dead. We'd have the occasional person being like, hey, I heard about this game through Genizad. And then now we have a huge amount of players. We have this massive influx. We have the Steam release bringing in loads of new players. We have Tectone and all the other popular streamers, such as Captain Cabinets here, like bringing in, you know, loads of people to come and play. And then they hit us with this, which alienates all of these new blood players. Just such a bad message. I hate it. I really hate it. Reiko, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate the follow. Like, most of the days up until now, I have just been sitting here answering questions all day about the game. Today, pretty much all I've done all day is have people come in and be like, this event is shit, isn't it? Like, this event sucks. Like, what do I do? How do I clear this event? And me being like, you kind of can't, but these are the ways you could try to if you work really hard and just spend endless hours on the game to level up a bunch of fighters. Which doesn't feel good, and people don't feel good hearing that either. I don't feel good telling it, people don't feel good hearing it. Just sucks. Love having to level 2 fighters I'll never use again. Exactly, Fixton. And that's what I've been having to deal with, telling people when nobody has any tags either. Because everyone's new, everyone's starved on tags to level up adventurers, and I'm here having to tell people like, yeah, if you want to do this event, you're going to have to level up 2 fighters you're never going to use again, with the very few tags that you've got. Just feels so bad. And they're like, is there another way? And I'm like, well, no, not really. Like, it's either that or you don't get the rewards. Like, what can you do? Sucks. Yeah, and they're dangling these insane rewards as well. This ring that is, like, the best accessory in the game. The fighter class change that everyone is fiending after because everyone wants Fighter Lana. Because everyone knows Fighter Lana's broken at this point. Alongside just some of the tomes as well. Some of the tomes are really high quality. So everyone desperately wants this stuff, and they're just super frustrated that they can't get it. So yeah, I'm sorry for the people who have heard me rant about that for like the 7th time today. I apologise. Then it's whatever. It'd be okay if they made a fighter banner unit that was tailor-made to clear the stage like every other gacha. Meanwhile, Collab Mages useless, Smurf Thief useless, Street Comp, yep. Yep. Or like, I don't know, have it so that you can get the reward. You have multiple proving grounds running at a time, and you can choose which proving grounds that you do so that you can, you know, use your favourite characters on it. I don't know, do something, anything but this. It's just terrible. Rikoji, yeah, it's not made for new players at all. Absolutely couldn't agree more. It's just a terrible, terrible business decision. I don't know what's going on there. Level some fighters to level 20, you put your best gear on them. Yeah, it just isn't high enough. Like, I've seen people try it at 30 and get quite close with Dragon Slayers. I've been suggesting that people get axes because you can hit the Minotaur when it's defending itself with axes, and the damage goes through because of the defense shred. The new guy's inherit is very good, but obviously that's a big premium thing to put on something. Anything that defense shreds is really what you want for the Minotaur, which is the intermediate one, which is the one that a lot of people are struggling on. Week 2 player here. After getting the ring, what should you get next from the event shop? Onithan, it's a debate at the moment. Probably the warrior passive, Way of the Warrior. That is probably the next most premium thing there. If you need a class change book, you obviously get a class change book because they're very, very premium as well. But there's some debate over whether it might be better to take the skill books, than it might be to take the class book. Kind of depends on how lucky you're feeling about getting a fighter class book from somewhere else. Yep. Indeed, with the Lana Scrolls, even if they clear the event, they can't buy the ring and Lana Scrolls. I know, it really, really, really sucks. Were past events better? Fordrake was the best event they've probably run, which was very similar to the collab event that we've got right now, but it was much more of like it felt like more of a dungeon crawl, and the loop felt much better. The currency was more generous, and the rewards didn't take so long to grind out. That was probably the best event that they've run so far, in my opinion. I think there are some other people who agree with that as well, but probably not everyone. You're lucky to have been playing before the stream. Yeah, like loads of people didn't know this game existed before people started streaming it, before all of these big names kind of came in and started streaming it. That's their design philosophy, their marketing philosophy. They want it to spread through word of mouth, and somehow it's working. God help them. Where do you go to submit feedback? You can submit feedback through here. Down here, inquiry, and you have to follow an annoying little process through the website. Contact us. Select inquiry, and yeah, request some feedback here. It's a bit annoying to do it, but it might be worth trying. This is also where you submit tickets if you ever have any problems with the game. So yeah, it might be useful remembering that one. Either way, axes are actually kind of OP for the Minotaur, believe it or not. They're usually a kind of useless weapon, but for the Minotaur, for exploiting openings and hitting sleeping targets, axes are really strong. Do I level up Gaston for the event? I don't think Gaston is a particularly chase fighter to level up. But if you've got no choice and it is your only fighter to level up, then it can't be... I mean, you're better off with a fighter than without one if you need a third fighter. Or a second fighter, even. Monday for Mages. Yeah, they could do something like that on Proving Grounds. I just think they could have done... there are so many options they could have gone with on the Proving Grounds. And they didn't go for any of them. Instead, they gave us this lackluster, poorly thought out event instead. That has upset an awful lot of people. Not just global people either. Like Japanese and Chinese player base upset about this. Really upset about this. For where my account's at, the ring isn't great. So my goal is to get Garolf and Lana books. That's perfectly reasonable, Vel, although the books are $250 each, right? Or $300 each? So you can't even get them? Is that right? I can't remember now. Is it 250 or 300? Yeah, they're 250. The ring is 100% must get, but like if you can't clear the advanced difficulty, then it isn't 100% must get. It's a 0% must not get because you are gated from it eternally, which is horrendous. absolutely sucks. Fordrake was a blessing. I had so much fun in Fordrake, just doing the loop over and over. It's such a satisfying loop. I loved it. Is the consensus that the ring is 100% worth it if you can get it? Yes, it is. But to reach its full potential, you need a full alteration stone. So if you don't have one yet, it's still worth getting, but you need to kind of wait until you get a full alteration stone to really make the best out of it. You need to full alteration stone it before you do anything else to it to get the maximum potential out of it, and it will be an absolute beast of an accessory. The best in the game, absolutely hands down. Nothing really comparable to it, just so many stats on it. It's really, really wild. Which again is why it's so disappointing that only a very small portion of the player base gets the privilege of getting this thing. Knowing how... sorry, my second monitor sucks. Know how fast they're answering your ticket. They'll read the feedback in like 2 months. Yep, you are not wrong, unfortunately, Mr. Rick. I need 3 fighters, right? So what's the best 4-star fighter? The best general adventurer fighters, as in lower rarity fighters, without a doubt, are Elise and Benjamin. Elise is an incredible buff unit, actually as good as legendaries in many ways. Benjamin is just a super, super solid, like, mini Abenius. Kind of better in a certain way just because he's a dwarf, and dwarf is probably the best fighter race. But apart from that, yeah, probably not as good as Abenius. Still a really good unit. Both super solid fighters. I think it's 250. Yeah, I'll have to go out and double check in a second. I've been streaming for 13.5 hours. My brain has gone to jelly. I apologise. Missions give tokens. Yeah, the missions give tokens too. But you get those tokens. Those tokens are accumulated. If at intermediate you can only get 250. It's 100 at easy, or whatever the lowest difficulty is. 250 at medium. 600 at advanced. The ring is basically a perfect ring. The ring is not a perfect ring, but it also, because of the strange things about it, the fact that it has these fixed rolls on it, it's the perfect target for a full alteration stone. Which makes it in some ways kind of better than perfect, but as a base item it doesn't necessarily have optimal stats on it. It's quite close though. The ring is really, really incredible. Yep, 300 points. It means that you just can't get it if you can't clear advanced. It sucks. Intermediate down. Level 50 fighter can clear intermediate training ground. Yes, you can, but it might be a bit difficult. You may have to think outside the box a little bit, bring axes or something similar that can pierce the Minotaur's defense. In some ways, the vampire in the third is actually easier than the Minotaur, but it's still not that easy. The Minotaur is a bit rough because of its like defensive stance. You only get 2 turns to really hit it, and then you're just kind of fucked. It turtles up, and you're just like, well, if I don't have armor piercing stuff, or I don't have full power strike, I can't actually deal enough damage to get over this thing before it starts one-shotting me. You can use openings on the Minotaur as well. When it starts swinging out at you, you can sack some of your fighters to get openings and then get a big chunk of retaliation damage on it. So you can make up the last like 1,000 to 1,500 of its 5,000 point health pool with just a big opening at the end. Speaking of a perspective of good neutral MC, yep, that's absolutely true. Plastic, very good point, thank you. Monthly sales are extract 10% of thousands of junk piles. Yeah, pretty much, Dorkimus. Pretty much. Full alteration stones are obscenely rare. I've never seen one. I still don't have one. I admittedly haven't farmed as much as most, and I haven't done as many dispatches as I certainly should have done in this game. But yeah, I haven't seen one at all. I know some people who've seen plenty of them. Took a whole nap and I'm still here. Of course, Scrag. Of course. I probably won't be on for too much longer now. 14 hours is probably as far as I can reasonably stretch to. Sorry for spamming. It's absolutely no problem. I answer questions every day and I have no problem with answering questions. I'm just a bit behind on chat right now because obviously there's a lot more people in here than there usually are. So please forgive me being a little tardy. Full alteration stones are just RNG drops. Yeah, they're just totally RNG drops. Whenever you extract anything, you have a chance to extract a full alteration stone. Fighter MC still low level. You will get there. I have faith in you, Linlaria. You can alter the defense to surety. Yep, you can absolutely do that. You can also alter that defense to attack if you would like. It's because I got raided. Ashen won Captain Cabinet's very, very kindly raided after she finished streaming, which is extremely nice of her. That she certainly did not have to do. But I very much appreciate it, and thank you all for staying with me for a little while. You can alter the defense to surety. Yep. I kind of prefer attack to surety unless you're on a surety stacking character. I don't like little bits of surety on characters. I think it's kind of wasted with the surety resistance that high level mobs have. But to each their own, and there are times where the surety will be awesome. You can buy one from the shop. It is like $75 the pack from the shop. So yeah, be very wary of that. I'm still streaming. Yep, I'll still be going for probably another half an hour at least. Having fighters that used to be knights, or getting them to otherwise team stun bash, makes the dungeon a lot easier. When I was leveling up in this game way back when, I basically survived on chain stun bashes. I had stun bashes on 4 DPS, and I would just chain them and pray that I would stun bash whatever horrible monster that I was killing. It's an old school strat. It probably still works just fine. Having fighters that used to be knights. Yep. Overworking. Thank you, Rezi. I try my best. Wish Dex can make the event. Oh, sorry. I wish Dev can make the event. Can be cleared for beginner newer players. Able Joe, you are preaching to the choir here. I only wish the same thing, and I have been all day. Hello, hope you've been doing well. I would like to know if there's a way to farm tags as a free-to-play. Hey, Peacefully, I'm sorry it took me a while to get you to your question. I really do apologise. I am behind right now. Is the only thing holding you back? Yes, you need to dismiss units. That's the only way that you can do it. And unfortunately, as free-to-play, you probably won't have a huge amount of units to dismiss. But that is the only way to farm tags in this entire game. Do your weeklies, do your logins, you'll get some tags from logins, but reasonably the only way to farm them is to get more bones, and to do that you need to pull usually, or progress through the story until you're able to access more bones. And of course there'll be lots of things that you don't want to dismiss, so it's a really, really tough call. A lot of people have been struggling with this problem. Peacefully, you are not the only one by any means. Do not feel like you're alone. There are literally hundreds of people that I talk to every day who are in exactly the same spot as you. So don't think you're missing out on something. It's just it's a marathon. You're just going to have to steadily chip away at the tags, I'm afraid. Tag starved. Yep, absolutely. As Rezi says, loads of people are tag starved. Stunlock the Minotaur. Lad, absolutely love to hear it. Love to see Minotaurs getting stunned. Full Alteration Stone. You use it on an item, preferably a purple or a red item. It re-rolls all of those stats on that item to any possible stat that that item could roll. Then it gives it a boost as if you'd enhanced the item past the point of those stats. So it's a really powerful, very chase item. It can make a terrible item as well, but when you're using it on that ring specifically, because the ring can only roll certain stats, it will always be a crazy item. It will be an absolutely insano item, which is why it is so powerful on that ring specifically. When should I start engraving my gear as a new player? You probably want to go to +4 before you beat Helmet. Then you can stay around that area all the way through the second abyss, all the way through the first abyss the second time. You probably don't need to improve it past that, but if you have access to Den of Earth, you could farm a bit of ore and give yourself a boost. You get access to Den of Earth after you clear first abyss for the first time, so you can start upgrading it past that if you want to, but you might not need to, especially if you've got Dragon Slayers and stuff. If you've been farming Dragon Slayers from the event, you're going to be way more powerful than anyone was back then. I've just seen Dorkamus type a massive essay, which is really going to help when I'm scrolling down through here. Appreciate that, mate. A weekly mission that gives 3 to 4 a week. Yep. I'm sure he's actually helping someone massively here. I'm only joking, Dorkimus. Thank you for the help. I really appreciate it. Should we roll? Yep. Crucible Mausoleum bones every 2 weeks. Yep, 3 bones every 2 weeks, but you probably don't want to do those until you're a little bit higher and understand the game a little bit more, because the mobs in there are awful and all of your fortitude will be sapped when you step into that place. The Mausoleum's a bit rough for newer players. Whole party is at like max XP. I'm still at bronze grade as I don't have any tags as a new player. Yeah, again, everyone is suffering it right now who's just come out with the Steam release or has come from streamers. Don't feel too bad. Everyone's in the same boat. We will make sure that everyone will suffer through it together, and you'll all come out the other side. I swear. It does get better. It's just that you've gone through the game much quicker than a lot of us did back in the day, so we never had the same issues with tags. But you're just stomping through stuff. A lot of people I've seen have cleared to 3rd Abyss in a single week, which is wild, absolutely wild. Do you choose the stats if it re-rolls? So you do not choose the stats, it's entirely random, but it only rolls from the pool of stats that it can possibly re-roll from. So again, the ring that you get from this event is special because it only has a very limited pool that it rolls from. In fact, the only pool that it rolls from are the stats that it comes with. Dorkimus, Adventure Tome in the game, and there's a set of bones that refreshes. Yep, thank you, Dorkimus. That is really, really useful info. Thank you for sharing. Sounds like a 0.1% drop item. It is. It's a very low drop chance. I don't know exactly what the drop chance is. I don't think anyone knows, but it is a very low drop chance. Safe to dismiss. Eckert, Eldorado, and Milana for tags. Yeah, those are probably some of the most premium units to get rid of for tags. I'd also suggest Dino is quite a good one to dismiss for tags. Because Cantino really doesn't need to go above rank 1 if you use it at all. Yep, we did. We tried to make a list yesterday of dismissers. Vicanola. Not been able to beat the event mobs, that's why you're asking for gear upgrades. Yeah, you probably just need a few more levels, Viganola. At your level, you're just starting out, so you're probably not even level like 15 yet, right? A few more levels will probably help you out a lot. You're at the point of the game where levels actually kind of mean more than gear do, because you're not going to get any better gear, but you're going to be able to level up very easily. It's super rare, you can get it. Yep. Yep, the Faster Thoughts website. Anyone who doesn't know the Faster Thoughts website, incredible resource. Please check it out. It is maintained by some really awesome people who do a shitload for the community, done a shitload for the game in global, and we would be utterly lost without them. Event currency, release event. You can buy some. Yep. Tell me, it was an event around Rin's banner. It was indeed an event very close to Reno's banner, Drago Yoshi. That specific event. Using Mage Milana. Apparently Mage Milana is actually pretty darn good. So I hear. So I keep hearing. So I hope you're having fun with her. Maybe even before that. Yep. We are caught up. I'm level 11. I can beat some mobs, but it takes too much to farm. Gonna try to get 15. Yep, you're still probably a little bit low. If you get to 15, I bet you'll be able to cruise through there, Vignola, without even a second thought. You'll probably be able to slap through it with no problems whatsoever. By the way, thank you so much to everyone who followed. I do very much appreciate it. It's so kind of you. And yeah, thank you for sticking around for a little while I just ran and tried to catch up on chat. I appreciate your patience. I also desperately need to follow Captain Cabinets because that is unbelievably kind of her. Yeah, levels at low level are very, very impactful. You'll get loads more out of levels at low level than you will out of gear because gear is so few and far between. I'm safe to get this, yeah. I don't think I can clear it advanced. Let me have a look. If you're pretty sure that you're not going to be able to clear Advanced Resu, I would go for the Fighter's Handbook, yeah. Even if you do, see you later, Harsh Knight, if you're off. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, even if you do clear Advanced eventually, you're still going to have enough for the ring. So this is a perfectly fine purchase. You're fine with that, Rezu. It just means that later on you won't be able to choose between this and the Way of the Warrior book. So yeah, this is a fine pickup for you, and it will probably help you clear this as well. It might actually even help you get through Advanced, because you can then level up Lana, and Lana's obviously an absolute beast. So yeah, it might even help you. Reluctant to change a lot of characters, yeah, because you can't change back, absolutely. I think a lot of people feel the same way. Reiko G. The class change book system in this game is a bit like, a lot of people have issues with it. I don't really blame them. They clearly want to make them exclusive, and they want to make them feel like people, you know, make people feel like it's something very special when they do get hold of them. And I understand that completely, and I mean, that is kind of working for them. But yeah, I do see a lot of people commenting, you know, that they feel like it sucks that they have to change, like they feel like they're forced to change, or they've got massive FOMO over things like Fighter Lana. It just kind of sucks. I don't know if there's a better way to do it. I don't know. They probably won't change it, so it doesn't make a difference. Crazy good. Gonna farm event. I didn't know it had event tab. Except the last bit. Oh, that sucks, Drago. Sorry. Especially through the chat rush. I'm having fun. Doesn't bother me at all, as long as people are patient. Have big issues with it being not able to change back. Yep, I think people would be a lot happier if you could change back and forth after you get the Fighter's Handbook, but they want it to be a permanent choice for whatever reason. That's their design philosophy. Again, it's kind of working for them at the moment. This exclusivity thing that they've got going on, how everything is a struggle and you feel really good when you get X thing that you've been waiting for a long time. We'll see if it continues to. Poor Lana got bullied by the underwater ship, whooped one boss, and now Fortitude is all the way down to 6. That boss is a brute. A lot of people have struggled on that LCK. You do know that you can deactivate the water pillar behind it first, right? Because I know some people have not realised that. My Lana will probably never see Night again. I think that's the same case for most people who class change their Lana. Wouldn't stop attacking her. RIP. RIP Lana. Both her and Geralf, yeah. And they're both fire type as well. Biggest issue with it that it's not only is it RNG to get the class book, it also costs 2 pools. Yeah, it costs 400 gems as well. This game is rough on free-to-play players. While we're on the sake of rants, I'm not a free-to-play player, but I see a lot of free-to-play players come through here, and I know how much that it sucks, like getting less than a 10 pull a month naturally. Like, that's not cool. You get other things, you get bones and stuff, but like that's still not gems that you can use to pull on like actual real exclusive banners, the flashy characters that loads of people want when they see games, when they see gacha games, you know? It's a bit scummy. The legendary rate's really high on the gacha, so there's that going for it, 5%. I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, the income is bad, like really, really bad. You beat it. Ah, you did it before encountering him. You didn't know he was coming up. Nice job, Seiko. Well done, well done, well done. Class change in this game feels a little bit scummy, yep. It can completely reform a unit, yeah, absolutely. Fighter class scrolls can really change units right now. Fighters are just super powerful. Lana get anything for swapping to fighter? Yes, she gets full power strike, Rezi. Yeah, she gets full power strike. Nah, she gets a bunch of passives, all of the fighter passives, all of the other various stuff that you get from fighter, like a rank of heavy strike. But most importantly, she gets full power strike at 54. Full power strike is like one of the most cracked things in the game right now for just progressing through content, through clearing content. It's just bonkers. It's beyond really most other things. The only things that come anywhere near close to it are the things that have been released recently, Zarlik and Astral. Arboris' special attack. Astral Break, thank you, Rezi. FPS is bonkers. Yep, FPS is bonkers. Astral Break seems decent from what I've seen of it so far. I don't have it, but I've seen a couple of screenshots. After I finish stream tonight, I'm going to have a look over the Discord. When I come back on tomorrow, I'll try and bring some information on what the damage numbers scale. I'm sure someone has tested them by now. So it'll be nice to maybe get that. Lulu told you to let Elman handle the vine. Lulu is does not always give the best advice and is not always the nicest of people. Lulu, I think, is going to end up being some kind of villain tie-in or something. Is going to end up being one of the warped ones. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, I feel like Lulu is going to have a... Maybe not the ghost version of Lulu, but some kind of like form of her. You're going to have to fight her or something. She's a freaky character. And she says the weirdest things, like she's so cold. I really, really enjoy her as a character. But yeah, she's freaky. What am I looking at here, Dragayoshi? Should I be dropping attack for surety? So surety is arguably the best thing on Buchanan because it scales both her true words, if you manage to get her true words to level 4 where they actually become a functional spell, and her melee attacks. But if you can't get her true words to level 4 or you don't have an inherit like Zarlik on her, which deals good magic damage, the magic part of her kit is actually kind of dead. So if you don't have those resources, or you're not intending to skill book up true words to 4, you probably just want to focus attack rather than surety. If you do, then surety is a very good thing to try to push as high as you can because it affects both her spell and her melee strikes. Never trusting Lulu ever again. Probably for the best. Probably wise. She sounded so indifferent at the end of the first playthrough. Yep, she sounds so freakishly detached. And it's either because she's just been undead for a really long time, or because there's something really sinister going on with her. And there are lots of things pointing towards some kind of sinister activity from her as you progress through the story. Keep an eye out for it. She's also super spiteful. You do bad things to her and she will absolutely spite you. You have to head off, Retro. Have a great night. Much love, man. Have a great one. Prepping before leaving to the gym. Have a great night if you are off soon, Rezi. Enjoy your time at the gym. Ryum, I actually just started playing the game. How should you allocate stats across characters? The easy way to put this is if your character is a physical character, so a knight, a fighter, or a thief, the safest place to put your points is attack. You can't go wrong with attack. If it's a priest, put your points into piety. If it is a mage, put your points into IQ. That is the safest way I can describe it succinctly. There is some nuance to that, but until you understand the game more, it's probably not worth worrying about it. And ultimately, those few stat points when you start out are not the be-all and end-all. Do not get too caught up and worked up over them, or worry too much that you've spent them in the wrong places. I've got wrong stats all over my characters because I didn't know any of this when I started out, and I can assure you that it's absolutely fine. It won't be the end of the world by any means. Because she's also dead. Yeah, maybe it's just because she's been dead for so long. It's possible. Keep going and the game will give you clues. Yep, indeed. Yep, what Dorkamus said. Exactly that. That's probably much easier to understand than my blithering. If you're not sure, refer to Faster Thoughts. Yep. Faster Thoughts, an incredible resource for just about anything. Please do go there and check it out. I'm not affiliated with them anyway, by the way. But I have used their guides and stuff so much. Like, it's made streaming this game a lot easier because being able to point people to somewhere is a hell of a lot better than not. Lulu's evil. Yeah, there's something real dark about Lulu. Real dark about Lulu. Reikoji. I absolutely agree. Give Iaramas and Buchanan, you can go half strength and strength on both, yeah, and then you won't feel like you've missed out on either. It ultimately won't make the hugest amount of difference. Got confused thinking maybe dexterity fighter. Loads of people do that, Ryum. Don't get caught up in the trap in this game where you're like, dagger, bow, they're dex weapons. They're not, they're strength weapons. Everything's a strength weapon in this game. Dex can be perfectly fine. It's good for opening traps and stuff. But honestly, you're probably getting more bang for your buck with strength on most like thieves, fighters, and that kind of thing. Don't have to be affiliated to contribute to the community wiki. No, you don't. Keeps the game running. They are wonderful people. They put so much work into that shit. You can really tell. So yeah, please support them. Lulu asking you to try the sussy meat near the beginning. Yep, that's one of the first times that you get really freaky stuff going on. Lulu is the best girl. I actually really like Lulu as a character. I thought she was really weird and generic at first and was like even AI voiced. And it turns out she's just meant to be that cold and detached and just strange. And she's really, really grown on me. Hi. Sorry, my second monitor is so bad. Zio. Hi, Zio. Another new player here. What should I do with dupes right now? Got an extra Alice per Arboris. Very complicated to answer question. Very, very complicated to answer question. There are like 5 different things you can do with dupes in this game. You can discipline them on your character to increase their stats. You can inherit them to their character to increase the power of their spell. You can inherit them to someone else to give someone else a watered down version of their spell. You can tag them. You can like destroy them for tags. You can dismiss them for tags, which sounds stupid right now, but you probably might want to in the future. And you can bondmate them somewhere down the line as well. The honest answer is there is no simple answer, and I would hold on to those dupes until you have a bit more grasp of the game and what you want to do with them, Zio, because it's so complicated to answer that question. Standing in the same spot for the last 40 minutes. Yep, it happens sometimes. Love her sarcastic sounding adventuring. Adventuring is so fun. I love it too. Forming lesser demons for over 8 hours, and I'm just now finding that they can summon more of them to a fight. They can indeed, and it's so much fun. Ah, plastic. That's your fighter ring. Look at this bad boy. For people who want to see how good this ring can get. This is so strong. 35 defense. That's like a chest plate worth of defense. It's actually wild. Like, this is why the ring is so good. Yep, exactly. This is why the ring is so good. So this is after it's been fully alterationed. And then enhanced to +20 and possibly refined as well. But the stats on this are just bogus. Dupe atoms are good for saving up. Yep. Dupe atoms you can either inherit, you can either discipline to him, in which case you're kind of making him a nuker, or you can just inherit to your whole party. But I'd just be really careful how you use those things until you know a little bit more about the game. You definitely don't need to do anything with them right now to progress. You'll be fine. I promise. And if you do have any questions, Zio, or you are struggling, just let me know. And I will do my best to try to help out. Time to grind Destiny 2 dungeons. Have a great time with that, Oseko. What's your party's fortitude? We've all been there. High roll defense and low roll attack. Obviously, that's not the way you would want it. But, like, that defense is crazy, Plastic. That's a huge amount of damage reduction, no doubt. So, maybe not exactly the way that you wanted it to be, but it still looks incredible. Still looks so powerful, that ring. Could you switch defense? You could fix them, but you can't do it before you fully alter the stone, because it will default back to this line, as these are all of the things that it can naturally roll. What do you have to do to get the ring again? You have to clear the hardest difficulty. Yep, as Resi said. Should it be on another gear stat line? Yep, it's true. It's true, Plastic. Absolutely true. I do agree with you. That is fully altered. Yeah, that's fully altered and fully refined, Brendan. Thank you, Dorcamus. That's actually really useful. I know I jabbed at you earlier, Dorcamus, but I was only joking. I really appreciate you helping out. And everyone else as well. He's helped out with questions in chat. Really, really appreciate that. It helps so much. You have no fucking idea. Right. I guess I'll move. What was I doing? Where was I? Oh, we cleared to the end.
I'm going.
Excellent.
An enemy.
Believe it or not, Reum, it's their marketing philosophy to keep everything like obfuscated and even hidden, the information of this game, and have it passed around. They want word of mouth to be the king in this game. It's meant to be like one of those old school RPGs from 25 years ago. And somehow it's working for them. So I wouldn't bank on them making information more free, sadly. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, Rezu. Just getting a good gawk at Plastic's ring. Sorry, that didn't come out the way I meant it. Sorry, Plastic. Once you fall onto the state, the stats go back to default values. Yeah. Everyone just wipe that from their memory. Do not. Nope. 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 Nope.
Careful now.
I realised as soon as I said it. Oh boy.
Good job.
Shit.
Turn back? Whatever.
What we got here? Loki just started, about to get your ass beat for the first time. Join the Discord because I don't have anyone in the circle who actually plays the game. Feel free. It's not the hugest Discord in the world, but you are more than welcome, as is anyone else. We do talk a little bit on there. But yeah, of course you're more than welcome. It's a community Discord. And I would highly recommend the Wizardry Discord as well if you haven't already joined there. There's so much useful information on there and so many helpful people. So what I'm seeing here is So I think in this party you might want to eventually put Arboris in the front. What alignment is your main character, Zio? Is your main character good? Most people end up good. Yeah, absolutely, you can run this. It's not the end of the world. You're basically negating Lana Vale's passive. Lana Vale... neutral, nice. So yeah, Lana Vale has a passive which buffs good and neutral characters if her whole row is good and neutral. And unfortunately Geralf breaks that, which is one of the worst things about Geralf as a character. It's been a bit of a blight on Geralf since the start of the game. You can see here I use my Geralf. This is Dwarfimus, named after Dorcamus here. I actually use him back row with a spear or a bow, so that he doesn't interfere with Lana Vale's passive. So ideally you kind of want a full good and neutral main row. It's not going to be the end of the world for you here at all. Please don't feel like I'm saying, oh, you can't do that, that'll never work, because it's perfectly fine. You absolutely can do that and it won't kill you in any way. But yeah, in an ideal world you would probably want to switch Arboris and Geralf, but right now Arboris is probably very, very weak and feeble, so he might just get messed up in the front row. Completely been running the same setup except replace Arboris with Deborah. Yep. But this looks fine. All these characters are great. There's no reason why you can't like clear the whole of the game with this comp. Doesn't even matter if this stays frontline. It's not the end of the world. And ultimately, I really do think in this game, just play it at your own pace. Don't compare yourself too much to other people. And by all means, ask advice and optimize if you want to. But just play the game at your own pace. It's really fine. There's no rush. It's a single player game. The biggest rushes are these shitty events that people are putting in, that these guys are putting in the game, that are making people feel forced and forcing FOMO on them completely unnecessarily when they can't even clear the events. Sorry to rant on about that again. I apologise. Just take your time, really. Try to enjoy the game. It's a really fun game, especially if you love dungeon crawlers or blobbers. It's such a fun game. Yeah, try him in the front. See if he lives. He might need a little time to cook, to get some better gear so that he can get evasion on his gear to live a little more. But Geralf honestly is kind of squishy in the front as well. He has a big HP pool, but he still gets kind of messed up. No worries, Rezi. You have a fantastic night, man. Thank you for hanging out all day. Appreciate you being around and just chatting. Love it. Have a great one, man. Yeah, you can run this forever. No problems. I've seen people clear Abyss 3 with similar teams to this. Oh yeah, and Alice. Oh yep. Very good point, Dorcamus. Alice needs to be in the middle row. The reason for that is she has a very powerful nuke spell that will, or Yekaterina for that matter. They both do. Either of them should be in the middle here, probably. And that will help you out in the early game massively because it nukes the whole screen. And it costs a lot of MP, but it's a real great panic button that hits super hard. Yeah, Yekaterina can do it too, right, Dorcamus? Like, hers might even hit harder than Alice's, so she could go in the middle too. Arboris, ideally, I guess, wants to be in the middle of the front row, so he's giving his evasion aura to both sides, although Lana doesn't get it anyway, because Lana's good, and it's only neutral and evil. Yeah, so you could put Yeka in the middle as well. Yeah, hers, yeah, thank you, Rezu. Hers hits harder, but costs a bit more MP. So it's a slight trade-off. Right, let's see if I can get through a run of Den of Light while I'm chatting. Hi, Ephemera. Just curious why I have Alice and Lana in the same row. Wouldn't that... It's because they got swapped by a Minotaur Ephemera. And I was so busy chatting that I didn't realise. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. Mwah! Much love to you. Scrag. What am I looking at here, Scrag? Ephemera sorting out my team comp just comes in, flyby sorts out my team comp for me. Much appreciated. Right, back to Den of Light. I probably would have walked in there with Alice in the front row, so that was incredibly useful.
Here we go.
I do not
I know
enjoy
this place.
filth.
It was what they call incompetence, Ephemera. What some people may call incompetence. I call it innovation, but some might call it incompetence. They're stupid though. They're incompetent.
Treasure.
What could be inside?
Thank you for following, Ephemera. I really appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Come in here. Help me out. Stop my Alice from getting one shot when I walk back into Den of Light. And follow. Are you an angel?
I'll crush them at once.
Hellfire! What do you think is in it?
Does Arboris passive work for character behind him? Yeah, it works on either side of him, right? I don't own him, but it works. It's a column. It's a column effect, like Elise. It works in front and behind him.
Let's look inside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That ability. Sorry, that is like Redbeard. It's cardinal directions. Like you say, left, right, front, back. Up, down, left, right is probably a better way to put it.
Good job.
Did some bullshit up this update because you're getting many unreasonable ambushes now. Reiko, I wouldn't be surprised. In this game, we call them features. It's a feature-rich game, Wizardry. We don't choose to use the B word around here. Seeing so many people play this game now, yeah, it's absolutely it makes me, it warms my cockles. Warms my cockles, Ephemera. It really, really makes me happy seeing this game get the attention that it really deserves, except when it's releasing bullshit events. She can be behind him. Yep, she can absolutely be behind him. Did I miss much for not allocating all points in strength for Rene? I did Dex and Strength. I didn't know at the time. I realised quickly afterwards that Strength was probably best. Luck is also quite good for her. Dex isn't even bad for her. Don't worry about it. Please don't get worked up over those stat allocations. It's not worth it. They are so minor in the grand scheme of things. It really doesn't matter. Please don't beat yourself up over them or feel like your account is bricked because you slightly mismanaged your stats. Most of the stats in this game come from items. It's all equipment after you get a little way in. And those stats they have an effect, but it is a very minor one in the grand scheme of things. So please don't get worked up over the micro. It's not worth it. Is this a downward one? Oh no, it's over here. Put off doing Second Abyss Arena for so long that with your gear and the enemies are doing like one attack before getting nuked. Yeah, you probably farmed for a long while and then went back. The gear, especially you get from the event, is so wild for Abyss 1 and 2. People have been blasting through Abyss 1 and 2. Doing stuff in a week that took us like months, or took me months.
Onward.
Warms my cockles, Rezu. Cockles are a type of seafood. I don't know what you were thinking of, but I definitely didn't mean that.
What?
Yep, indeed. A couple of weeks of farming that event and suddenly you're a god. You're a golden god in this game. Especially if you have Yarumas. Yarumas hits like unbelievably hard. Yeah, good for you, Scrag. Good for you. That's definitely the way to be playing the game. Taking your time is... Most of the people... some of the people who have played this game have burnt out because they've gone too fast and they've tried to keep up with some kind of illusionary race that they don't really need to be.
Let us end this quickly.
It's always the people who have taken the game slowly that have enjoyed it the most from what I've seen. Not 100% of the time, but like... A lot of the people who take it at their own pace seem to have more fun and seem to just have more time just chilling around, like doing random things, farming what they want to, and seem happier at the end of it. Burkmain forever. Yarumas is the #1 jobber from that from the Dragon Boss fight. Fight the power, Dragayoshi. I think Burkhanen is really good too, but takes a little while longer to get going than the Yarumas. Takes a bit more investment and a little bit more focus.
Infiltrating.
Yarumas is just kind of crazy out of the box. He comes out of the gate swinging with massive Zalix and huge melee damage from all of his crazy passives. Oh, it's down there. I'm stupid.
Onward.
When a game lets you grind, it's easy to burn out, but I like being able to grind, yeah. There's nothing wrong with either of those things. There's nothing wrong with either of those things. Just as long as you don't burn out to the point where you no longer want to pick up the game anymore. I've known a couple of people who have burnt themselves out grinding and then not even wanted to do the story anymore, which is just kind of sad. Oh, I didn't hit the right switch. Whoops.
Onward.
Third time lucky. Averages 500 normal attack damage with a sword and 1 sure hits. Yeah, Burkhanen, especially when her skill is taken to level 4, is an absolute powerhouse. It takes a long time to get there. You probably have to use a lot of skill books or have a lot of copies of her to do that. But she then is able to use her MP to nuke really hard and her SP to hit really hard. So she has this massive pool of resources to blow stuff up.
It's there.
That is 16 skill books, Dragyoshi. It's 4 copies of Buchanan, or 16 skill books. That is the reason why level 4 is important is because it's a break point and the damage goes through the roof at level 4. Preferable to a game giving you nothing to do or improve on after 10 minutes of play, like most games with gacha elements. Absolutely, absolutely, Reikoji. Couldn't agree more. True words of fire, Scrag. In this game, they gave us Abyss 3, right? Recently. Just before the Steam version release, they gave us Abyss 3. And Abyss 3 took me about 2 weeks to get through it. And that's with me streaming this a lot. Like, for the average player, it's probably like a month of content or more. Like, can you name another gacha game that when a patch hits, it gives you an actual month of real content? I can't. Now, that's actual real story content.
So cool.
True Words of Fire is level 2. Yeah, it's trash up until level 4. The spell is actually a really bad ability up until level 4. And then at level 4 it pops. It pops like crazy. Yeah, I've spoken to several people now who have actually taken the time to get it up there. And it is very, very potent at level 4. They've all said that it's worth the wait. Yeah, it's really cool actually, Quantum. Because at level 4 as well, apparently it gets a graphical upgrade and it starts like lobbing a lot more fire. I haven't seen it personally because I don't own her, but like apparently it lobs loads more fire to kind of simulate her growing because she's such a slow learner, such a late bloomer. It's actually really super cool. They do things like that, like half thematic things like that in the game. Indeed, yeah.
Here we go. I know this place.
What could be inside? Careful now. Good job.
Gotta level up when you're able to. Gotta get this Dragon Slayer and Mahalito book. And then you can start doing other things. Is that everything from the event for you? You've actually done everything in the event, Quantum. That is a great hustle. Absolutely great hustle.
Is it not treasure? What could be inside? Careful now. Good job.
I just wish you guys had seen Fordrake. Like, Fordrake was a much better, like a much more interesting, much more fun grind than this one. It was like a real dungeon crawl. Each time you went through the loop, you'd have to trigger a couple of switches to open secret doors and to disable traps and things. And there was a mini boss and a boss in there as well. So each loop that you did of it actually felt like a little mini dungeon crawl. It felt so much more satisfying than the current just like run in, grab some chests grind that is the current event. It also didn't take anywhere near as long. The event currency, the event items took like nowhere near as long to grind out. This one was super grindy, probably too grindy. China and Japan both again complained about that, apparently. You told me about how the defense down debuff doesn't stack very well with Morlus. Is it not worth stressing about keeping Adam in the party to do double debuff? It stacks fine. Each defense buff that you stack has diminishing returns because they're multiplicative with each other, same with any other buffs. So if you say reduce defense by 30% and then reduce it by another 30%, then you're only reducing the second part by 30% of the remaining 70%, which is of course nowhere near actually 30% anymore. Generally 2 of those debuffs together are going to shred a decent amount. The second one is still going to be worth applying, but when you're dealing with a third debuff on top, that's when the diminishing returns really start to kick in and you're not really getting much benefit from applying that third debuff. Hopefully that makes sense.
How do we maneuver? Tell me your approach.
Yep, agree with you, Dark Chaos. I think you can get the same mileage from something else, from just nuking at that point, probably. But the second defense debuff or whatever isn't that bad.
What do you think?
The third one is very extra though. Third debuff is very extra. Any info on how stuff scales? Yes, we know exactly how Way of the Warrior scales. It's 10% per level.
Good job.
I don't know 100% that 0 to 1 is 10%, but I have heard that rumoured very strongly. I know almost for a fact, secondhand knowledge, but almost for a fact that 1 to 2 is 10% on Way of the Warrior. Just 10% raw damage, which makes it a very, very good inherit, Fixton, as I'm sure you can imagine. Very, very good skill book choice. The event was so crazy, I got through the Minotaur, then I saw 2 of them and got stuck. I saw 2 of them and got stuck. Yeah, that'll do you. You can get the same effect from a Word of Fire and Armor Break that you would get from Word of Fire and Maulus. Not necessarily, they probably shred different amounts, but it's very, very, very hard to work that out without a huge amount of testing. Because again, Brendan, it's in combat numbers. And in combat numbers are not displayed, so we just don't know. What we do know is that there's definitely diminishing returns on subsequent defense and any other stat buffs. Any like doubled up buffs. Didn't have the patience to farm 2 and 3 event swords. Don't worry about it, Micro. Just went to Second Abyss and farm good stuff there. Yeah, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You're going to be perfectly fine. Those swords in the long run are really not that big of a deal. Great swords are the worst weapon type in the game by about 1,000,000 miles. They're the only weapon type in the game that has actually no real functional purpose. It's just that the Dragon Slayer is a really cracked weapon for new players, so it's something that they're going to use for probably a very long time.
Let us be off.
I'm going.
Eventually you're going to want to move to using like a sword and shield. Usually a sword and shield. Or a spear bow for backline. No worries, Vixen. My pleasure. It's very tedious. Yeah, almost done. 2 troll rings left. It's really getting me now since it's an event. Yeah, absolutely. Ephemera, don't blame you. Don't burn yourself out on it. It's not the end of the world. They've shown now that they're going to keep giving us better gear. It took them a very long time to start putting good gear into these things. You should see some of the gear that they gave us in the early events. They're like 1-star white things that started at 0 item level that were still bad when you even when you like maxed them out. Just awful items. They've come a very long way from then. Now we get real items in these events, so they'll probably give us better before long. I wouldn't be surprised. Or you'll find better out of junk piles, which is of course a very viable way to play the game. Grinding in this game gets you absolutely insane gear if you grind for long enough. Ophelia Inherent is Way of the Warrior too. No, Ophelia Inherit is not Way of the Warrior. Ophelia Inherit is Counterattack, I think. No, there's no Inherit General or anything like that for Way of the Warrior. Way of the Warrior is skill books only. Way of the Warrior is really, really powerful. It's considered one of the most chase abilities to upgrade. Basically a newbie weapon until you get better stuff. Yeah, except the newbie weapon will last you for like a couple of 100 hours probably. That's why the Dragon Slayers are so great. And also if they happen to do dragons again in the future, might be useful. Who knows? Been playing and forgot to follow. It's absolutely fine, Zio. I do not mind at all. I really appreciate everyone following, and thank you so much for following. But more than anything, I just appreciate people watching and enjoying the game. So thank you so much. How do you use the Guiding Light in the Well of the Mind? You need to take nodes up till the point where you reach the part that the Guiding Light unlocks, and then from there you can click on it and it will light up, and you'll be able to unlock it with the Guiding Light from there, Sage Starter. Helm of Malice. Yep, I still have one made. I don't have the heart to destroy it. It's still just there in my inventory, but it's very useless. Taking a sweet time with the game. Not gonna lie, Abyss 3 progress stopped due to the Blade and Burst event. Yep, everyone's did. Everyone's did. WO2, yeah, Way of the Warrior is really strong, and you can just upgrade it. Yeah, it's so strong. It's so strong. So much extra damage, almost for free. Strongest level 2 skill in your opinion? Oh, Dark Chaos. Sorry. Like I see a red mist, but clicking on it does nothing. Have you cleared up until that point in the normal nodes, Sage Starter? And do you actually have the guiding light unlocked? I know that might be a stupid question. Yeah, Plastic here handles all the emojis for the stream. He is an absolute fucking angel. So if you want any emotes added to the stream, please just ask Plastic. But don't bombard him too much. Guy's a very busy man. He just happens to help me out for some reason. God bless him. Worth upgrading Rene's Moment of Finality. Also was thinking on getting Wear the Warrior on her from event. Yes, Rene. I think Rene is an excellent target for Wear the Warrior. And I have Rene's Moment of Finality upgraded to 3. 3 is a breakpoint for this ability. I can say that first-hand knowledge. This does about 180% damage at rank 3 for about a little bit less than 180% of the MP. And it carried me through Garda. Absolutely carried me. Really, really, really powerful ability. And she gets so much SP back from Deborah's talent. Because every time she kills something with her dual daggers, she gets back double SP. Because Deborah's thing stacks twice on her. Really, really powerful inherit. In fact, so many ninja things. So many ninja things are just incredible, incredible things to book. Art of Assassination, incredible to book. Dual Wield, eventually, incredible to book, especially for a front row ninja using things, covert strikes. Then you've got Moment of Finality itself down here. And that's it, isn't it? That is actually it. Yeah, that is actually it. You can put Way of the Warrior onto her. If she's a frontliner. If your ninja is a frontliner, you can put Way of the Warrior onto her. If she's a backliner with kunais, if you're lucky enough to have kunais, Way of the Warrior won't work because it only works on close and mid weapons. So it works with the daggers, but it won't work with the kunais. Kunai? Is it kunai or kunais? I don't know. I don't know the proper grammar for it. Oh, yeah, there is one more thing. Sorry, I completely forgot.
Soiled.
I knew I forgot something. This.
I would not be found.
This thing, Dissipation. I want to get this up more. Buffs in this game are ridiculous. Are absolutely ridiculous. And I really want to raise this up more than I already have. This buff Dispel, I think, is actually super powerful. And at level 2 it goes to row, at level 3 it goes to whole screen. Then at level 4 it goes to 2 debuffs. 2 buffs, sorry. Loads of good ninja stuff. Ninja stuff is crazy. You have a red guiding light, you can't click on the normal nodes. Let me get through this a second and then I will go out and take a look with you. I'll show you what I do to unlock them. It might be something very simple or you might be bugged / featured. Could go either way. Can't really experiment as a free-to-play yet. The opportunity cost is way too great. Dark Chaos has already done a bit of experimenting. You experimented with Way of the... Was it Way of the Mage or Way of the Priest? I really appreciate you doing that as a free-to-play player. That is bonkers by itself. Yep. I honestly think that Rene is a better target for it than Iarumas because it doesn't affect his Zalek. It doesn't affect Rene's Moment of Finality either, or Kiraha's, whatever. But if they're frontline ninjas, they do a lot of damage with Covert. And getting an extra 10% damage on the already crazy amount of damage they deal with Covert, I think is actually crazy. So Wear the Warrior on a ninja, on a front row ninja, I think is very powerful. Yeah, Wear the Priest. It makes sense to me why... yeah, ninjas are cracked. And I don't even know if they'll give ninjas another class. I think they might just leave ninjas as ninjas. Because if they add another class to Rene and Kiraha, honestly, they will both be utterly cracked. They're already utterly cracked. You might have seen videos or screenshots or GIFs or whatever of Covert Strike ninjas. They hit so hard. There are quite a few people out there now running Kiraha and Rene frontline with Covert Strike. And they do bonkers damage, like really nuts damage. It requires a bit of rejigging on your group, so it's mostly only people who've played for a very long time. But yeah, just the humble Kiraha is one of the best units in the game. Eventually.
Inconceivable.
Resetting your game. Fantastic. That was going to be my next suggestion if I couldn't show you what to do. That's been happening more and more recently. It seems there's some weird thing with the guiding lights registering, and every time someone's relogged, it's fixed it for them. I should have suggested that first. I'm sorry about that. Really sorry about that, Sage Starter. I should have suggested that first. Samurai B is cracked. Hard to say.
What's all this?
Hard to say. I don't think, by the way, I don't think ninjas are like OP. I think they're just something that you can use. The only really unique thing that ninjas do that really makes them shine is, again, that buff dispel. There are some very, very, very bad buffs in the game that mobs put up on themselves. And that is the only thing that really sets ninja apart from some of the other classes, or just, you know, like fighter. It's nice to be able to assassinate things, don't get me wrong, but I truly think that the real power of this class is in this ability. There are a lot of things at the end of Garda, at the end of Abyss 3, where having a Dispel makes your life so much easier. It even like allows you to do things that are almost impossible without it. So that humble buff ability is actually one of the major draws of the ninja class, in my opinion. Unless Samurai gets something that is as unique as that isn't just ideal damage, I don't think it will come close to ninja in that respect. Now maybe they'll just do so much damage that, you know, there'll be 2 damage dealers worth of damage. Kind of doubt it, but maybe they will. Maybe Samurai will get some unique-ish mechanic as well. In the Well of the Mind, should I just go attack whenever possible? My priority in Well of the Mind, believe it or not, usually is disarm trap nodes. Because in the worst content in the game, in the hardest content in the game, you are more likely to die to traps from trying to open chests than you are to die to the monsters quite often. Traps in this game are a very, very, very big deal. But attack is a decent one to pick up. Evasion is a decent one to pick up. Those are usually my 2 priorities out of disarm trap. I also go for the one-handed weapon styles as much as possible, or whatever weapon style you're using. Those are probably the priority in Well of the Mind. Pathing towards those, trying to pick up good nodes along the way. But usually from multiple classes, you try and pick up the one-handed nodes. Or if you're using two-handed nodes.
Time to rest.
You read that as Samurai be ass crack. Samurai bleed build. Could do. Yeah, could do. Who do I use Foros and Marfaros on? You use it on your best mage, Rezu. That is actually quite a useful ability because it hits some of the dark stuff in the top floors of Garda, top floors of Abyss 3. For special effective damage, super effective damage. And usually the worst part of that is you have Adam attached to it, and Adam is very weak to all of the dark stuff in there. But if you've got that on like Yekaterina or something instead, that might be quite useful. Foros is probably never going to outperform something like Zalek, so there's not that much point in using it other than as a very, very low mana cost nuke, but you could inherit that. What would be the best way to level a ninja up? Dispatches, Ephemera. I don't do a lot of dispatches, but I've been told very directly many times that the best way to level a ninja is not to level them yourself, it's just to put them into the highest XP dispatch that you can do until they're maxed. Using two-handed, likely be temporary since you're using Dragon. Say you're going to respec your Well of the Mind loads of times anyway, so just aim towards whatever you're aiming towards, whatever you have equipped right now. Is there a way to see adventurous skills and discipline before recruiting them? Only if they are in the ruins, you know, on a banner. Then you can look at them. Otherwise, faster thoughts. Most of the info is on faster thoughts. Go on faster thoughts. Everything is on there about all of those old units' disciplines. Put a set of each on Burke. Don't know what else to put it on. I'm really sorry, Scrag. Put a set of what on Burke? I've lost the context. I'm really sorry. Skills that have the same element as the user has an added damage increase. Yep, that's true, Plastic. Very good point. So that is one reason for Adam to be better. Martial Dispatch, Guard a Fortress. That is the one that you can do. If you can do that one, that's the best. That is the best one to do. Thank you, Dark Chaos. These guys know more about dispatches than I do. I'm really, really lackluster with my dispatches. Started leveling your Rene. Yep. Dispatches are where you want to level those guys. XP dispatches in Garuda, Garda. Yep. For an hour stream. Yep. I am gonna have to probably wind it down in a bit. But it is wonderful having so many people in chat and just being able to talk about the game so much. I really do enjoy talking about the game. Another wild 6-hour nap. Yeah, indeed.
Be on your guard.
Confection has his fingers in many pies. I've heard that before. In gaming, in love. I don't know about that one, but I'm just assuming.
There's treasure somewhere close.
Could be inside.
Confection's my favourite nephew.
Careless.
Forecast better than Garroth. There is not one better than Garroth, but it may be better suited to some teams. Yavaro, and perhaps out of the box could actually be better than Garroth in some ways, and that is Benjamin. Benjamin is a very similar character to Garroth in many ways, and certainly starting out is going to probably be strong, like maybe stronger or as strong as Garroth. Don't forget to hydrate. I'll be grabbing some drink and my one meal of the day right after stream. I won't stay on for too much longer. I do promise. I do try to take care of myself as best as I can. No problem at all, Micro. It's my absolute pleasure. Anytime you have any other questions, I stream this most days at the moment, and even if I'm streaming another game, feel free to come by and just hit me up. I always love talking about this game. I think it's crazy. I still think it's absolutely crazy that Tectone has streamed this game. Like, for a number of streams. It still blows my mind, like, the amount of money other companies would have paid him to do this. And he's just like, nah, fuck it. It's all because of Genazad, man. Guy's a legend. It's so crazy how many people he's brought into the game.
Where'd you crawl out from?
He's 36 already, damn. It just blows my mind when I think about it, like, this game has no right being anywhere near as popular as it is. It's just so stupid. Yep, loads of people did Ephemera. Loads of people did. Back before the big rush on this game, most of the people who would come and swing by the channel, I get like maybe a few visitors every day, like new faces every day maybe, and they would be like, hey, heard about this game through Genazad, and I'd be like, damn, I have no idea who Genazad is. It took me ages to find out who Genazad was. Guy seems like he works super hard. The guy seems like an actual real hero. So he seems like he really loves his games, he really loves his viewers, and he works really, really hard. He puts in crazy hours on his streams. Gotta respect it. Dragon Yoshi, that is absolutely fine. I will also need to at some point. Oh, Micro, you dropped Wizardry on release because of bugs. A lot of people did, Micro. A lot of people did. Luckily, the game is completely bug-free now. There are no bugs at all. There are only features. So you've got nothing more to worry about. You're never going to get caught out by any bugs anymore. Yep, no bugs now. No bugs here. Drayoshi, it was a pleasure. Please sleep well. Yep, Genazad does some really, really long streams. and he stays probably a lot more awake than I do during them. I really do respect the guy. Still haven't really watched his streams, but I respect what he's accomplished and how he still treats his community and everything, and how he still loves the games that he plays. I think a lot of streamers who get that big fall out of love with the games that they play. Doesn't seem like he has at all. No bugs. How am I going to finish my battle pass? The problem is with no bugs, there's no apologems. Nowadays, when we get features fixed. Yeah, when we get features fixed nowadays, we get like 200 gems. We used to get like 200,000 gems. Those are the days. Those are the days. Admittedly, though, people were literally losing their accounts, so I guess that might be why. Back in the day, for the people who don't know, the bugs in this game were so heinous that, like, people were just genuinely losing their accounts. Like, either completely or for weeks, maybe even months at a time, like, losing access to them due to a bricking bug. It's absolutely crazy.
I'll pound him with my blade.
Miss those copious amounts of apologems. I don't miss being in constant fear of being caught by those bugs, though. Those bugs were rough. I remember I would always check the Wizardry Discord before I started streaming, or before I started playing the game, to be like, let me just double check there are no critical bugs on the thing that I'm trying to do right now. I'd be like, oh yep, arena's bugged again, yep, glad I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, yep, looks like I'm safe to farm this today, but I'll make sure to check tomorrow as well. Second day you came back, you already got hard stuck inside a chest. Yeah, at least there's a force reset command now. Thank God. Savor the risk. Yeah, they didn't tell you exactly what the risk was in this game. The risk are the copious amounts of features which might grab you by the balls and threaten to rip them off at any point. Yep, thanks beta testers. Oh wait, that's us. You got scammed. Does it really take 7 non-grade tags for 1 iron tag? Lead's 1, lead's 2. It's 8, isn't it? 8 total? 2 lead, 4 bronze, 8 iron. Chest is still bugged for sure, 100% Dark Chaos, but we use the word feature, thank you. Won the RNG, never get any features, and just eat all the rewards. That is the dream, Confection. That is the dream. I've gone completely the wrong way. Oh, when I tried to auto path down there, it didn't work because I had 1 square not revealed. Turns out my brain works even worse after this many hours. Still had that force reset twice. Got stuck in Garda. Got stuck in good old line cover. When I was using Night MC the other day with behind cover, I got so many bricks where I had to restart the client. It seems like that has a lot of bugs right now. Main character Knight's animations are like really bugged. There's a really funny one when you have behind cover where when it procs, like a mannequin almost comes out of you because it isn't properly programmed. It just comes and stands in front of the party with a shield out. Looks so stupid. I guess they forgot that Knight was a class when they fixed all those main character bugs. Yeah, the headless autocover is really weird. When it first happened, I was like, ugh. Genuinely jumped a bit. Bugs seem to get fixed faster these days. Genazad had a bug in Beyond Fortress earlier, and today it was fixed almost on the spot. I think that was coincidence, Ephemera. I think that was total coincidence. Because I know they did that bug fix today, but I think it was absolute complete coincidence. Or Genazad is just that big. But considering I don't think they even know who Tectone is, I'm not sure that that's true.
They'll not escape.
Dreecom are oblivious to everything that's going on in the West, I'm pretty sure. They have no idea what's happening at all. Yeah, that's hilarious. Hilarious timing, Ephemera. Hilarious timing. MVP status for Genazad, I guess.
Careful now.
Yeah, that's right. We saw it on the patch notes earlier. It was, I think, the first force reset they did just after the patch.
We survived.
When am I going bald, Unk? I think I'm keeping my hair probably for some time. My hair's still pretty decent. I still get compliments on it when I go to the hairdresser. They're like, "Oh, your hair's so thick and luscious." I'm like, "Yeah, I take no fucking care of it at all. I brush it once every morning if I'm lucky." They also fixed the water statue bug the moment it happened to you. Ah, Dark Chaos. Maybe you are also a VIP status member. I didn't know that you and Genazab went to the same school. Right. I should really go to bed. I think it's about that time. Dev's watching Dark Chaos and Genazad. I really do need to go. I've been streaming for way too long. Thank you so much for hanging around. I really appreciate it. For all the people who usually don't come through here. Yeah, it's really cool of you. Thank you for sticking around and just giving me some viewers and maybe hanging out and chatting a little bit. It really pleasure. Real pleasure. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, normal time, full stream, Wizardry, right? Wait, what day is it tomorrow? Friday tomorrow, right? Yeah, Friday. Yep, full Wizardry stream tomorrow. I hope you all have a great night. Good luck with whatever you're up to. And yeah, thank you again for hanging out. Thank you to all of my the people who come through here more regularly as well for answering loads of questions. I really do appreciate it. It's so good of you.